Hello and welcome to Blueprint to Heal. Today we're going to talk about biofeedback, do it yourself. As a practitioner, I had this in my practice for several years. I love the results. Patients got incredible changes to their nervous system. They really learned awareness about, what was triggering their stress reaction, what would cause their heart to race. It was really fabulous. I don't remember why I stopped using it. It was really good. But along the way, I learned some tricks for how to do biofeedback without going to a practitioner's office. I would try these first. If you don't get results, you can always try biofeedback later in a practitioner's office, but start with the tools that I give you here and see what kind of results you get. So we're going to cover how can biofeedback help you, what are cost-effective ways to do biofeedback. Disclaimer, this presentation is for educational purposes only, does not replace medical care. This is information presented is the opinion of myself, and it's based on several years' experience. And consult your healthcare professional for chronic health problems. So, why do biofeedback? If you don't know what it is, it's non-invasive. It's training-based technique that uses sensors to measure, visualize, and learn to control involuntary physiological process, such as heart rate, muscle tension, breathing, to manage stress and pain. So what you would learn by using this is you will get information through the training that will make you more aware of, for instance, is your breathing shallow and quick? Are you tightening shoulder muscles or other muscles in your back that tend to get tight when we're in that stress response or fight or flight? So it's very good for bringing awareness, but it's also great for teaching you how to make changes using different techniques. So we have a lot of things out there like the Oura Ring and other devices that will tell you will give you feedback like, okay, what kind of sleep did you get last night? What is your heart rate? What's your heart rate variability look like? But is it teaching you how to make those changes? Because it's more of a passive device where biofeedback is active. You're actively engaging to make these changes. It's been proven in studies to work, and it strengthens the mind-body connection because you're actually using the data and using your mind to consciously regulate those physical responses. So for anybody that's watching my seminars, this is a typical slide I have up, which shows you what the typical response to stress is. Increase in adrenaline, our brain is going, trying to figure out how to get out, fight or flight, get into safety. The tone of our heart gets stronger because our body can't understand, is the body responding to stress? Is it because we're stuck in traffic, we're getting ready to do a presentation, or have we just faced a bear in the woods? It can't differentiate that. So it's preparing for either fighting or fleeing. So it's going to make the tone of the cardiovascular system increase. It's going to increase the tone of the pulmonary system. It increases our tolerance to pain because, again, the focus is running away from that tiger. And when we're in this situation, our body doesn't have to worry about digesting food, getting pregnant, or even the temperature of our extremities. So during an initial body's response to stress, it's not unusual for the hands to get hot and there to be sweating. Over time, the prolonged stress response will have the opposite. We'll tend to get dry skin. The temperature of our hands goes down and our feet. So before I started doing this work, I wasn't sleeping well. It was a really big problem for a long time. And if my feet touched my husband's, he'd freak out because they were literally felt like ice cubes to him. One of the things when I was in practice that I would do just to assess somebody's physiology is I would shake their hand. If it was cold, and it could be like a 90-degree day, I would know immediately that person was dealing with long-term stress. So what happens when we're in fight or flight? Our brain, our blood shifts more blood to the heart and the lungs and the brain because our brain is trying to survive. So we need that extra oxygen that we get from the blood. And it'll pull the blood away from non-vital survival functions, such as, pooping and peeing, because that's not the focus when we're trying to run from the tiger or fight. But we'll also get tight muscles in our shoulders, our jaw. That's why people with long-term stress tend to get headaches and jaw pain because when they're in this fight or flight, they're clenching their jaw to prepare for battle. So it's also not unusual for the hands to be tight, our biceps, because we're clenching to go into this survival mode. I typically see people when I'm out, I'll see people with their shoulders up to their ears, and even they could be at the beach or doing something fun, but they've been in this survival mode so long, the body forgets to shift back to what's called parasympathetic response and not being in this fight or flight. So again, the main thing I see is cold and dry hands and feet, and their heart rate and respiration tends to be quicker than ideal. So there's a lot of different things you can do. If you watch any of my prior videos, you'll know that I teach breathing exercises. There's visualization techniques, there's humming and grounding, and you might have some great short-term results. You may be able to find in the moment that they work, but how do you know what your real progress is? And how are you knowing if these are making long-term changes rather than just a band-aid approach? So this is where biofeedback shines because you have sensors attached to an app that measures how you're responding to stress. So it's looking at skin temperature, heart rate, respiration, muscle tone. So you would typically have a band that you wear around your body, around the chest that will measure the heart rate and respiration. There's sensors that you can put on the shoulders and measure your muscle tone. I actually used to put them on the jaw because the jaw was, such a major area. Most people would deny that they were clenching when I was working with them. But you can also put a sensor onto your fingers to measure the skin temperature and also to measure, what the response is as far as sweating. So what happens is while you're looking at the monitor, while you're measuring how you're doing, you do these exercises like the deep belly breathing and you look for the changes. So for me, what worked the best was I love the beach. So I would visualize myself at the beach with the sun warming up my body and my hands. That was the technique I used, and my feet, because as I said, my feet were just outrageously cold all the time. Um, so sometimes I found with certain clients or patients I was working with that they could get better results by doing deep belly breathing, they, humming, some of these other techniques. But the great thing about it is they would see the changes on the monitor, so they would learn what worked best for them. So that was the real beauty of biofeedback because you can immediately see where the results are. Also, by focusing on these techniques like visualization and these belly breathing, it takes your mind out of that survival mode, which is that fight or flight response. So that's, great for that as well. Now, the reason why I like people to do it on their own is you can do it 5 days. You could do it every day. You could do it 7 days a week. But by doing it 4 or 5 days a week for 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to see that you respond to stress much better when you are in the moment. Uh, Visualizing again what makes you happy. For my husband, he loves being in the mountains. He loves going for hikes. He likes being by himself. So he would visualize himself in the mountains taking a hike by himself. Where for me, again, I like to be at the beach. And I love the mountains. But the beach is really what makes me happy. That's really what helps me to lower my stress. For some people, it might be dancing or doing another activity or imagine themselves with their children or grandchildren. Whatever works for you is what you should do. And you can't expect someone else to know what is best for you. So it's really about finding that key for helping your body, your nervous system, your brain deal with stress better. Now, here's some of the inexpensive options. I actually have one with me right now. I think it was like $29 or something. And there's a little sensor here. So you hold it with your finger while you're doing your breathing exercises. And it has a little um, display so you can find out what your temperature is of your hands. And literally, just learning hand warming techniques, you will shift your nervous system out of that fight or flight response. So it's real-time changes. I also like the idea of doing a pulse oximeter because that's going to measure your heart rate and your oxygen. You could do both simultaneously while you're doing these, stress reduction exercises or these visualizations. So this is the very inexpensive way of doing this. And by intentionally raising your fingertip temperature, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest response. Super easy. So this one's a little more expensive. I went on their website and I honestly could not figure out exactly what option. So I think the minimum was about $130. There's an app that you connected to. I think if you get all the different options, it's going to be $400 or $500. But what I love about it is it's going to check not just your skin temperature, but it's going to actively check your heart rate and your respiration. And there's a little display so you can see the results you're getting. It's basically a mini version of this biofeedback machine that I had in my office, which was, $10,000. So to be able to have something like this at your disposal that you can use whenever you want is really great. So it's called eSense Temperature Biofeedback Training. There's an app at the App Store, but of course you have to get this device. It's going to connect to it. You can purchase a biofeedback machine. You can go and do biofeedback with a practitioner. Again, I feel like you need to make that commitment. It's got to be at least 3 times a week with a biofeedback therapist. 4 or 5 days a week might be better. So just weigh the your options, the cost, the time involved, whatever's going to help you be successful in this. Here are the websites that you can find both this little stress thermometer device and then for the minefield esense.com. They're based out of Germany and it looks like a really great device. I haven't used it personally, but I have reached out to them to get more information. I always talk about brain tap because it will retrain your brain and nervous system to handle stress better. You don't have to do the work. You do have to use it 3 times a week minimum. 4 or 5 times a week will retrain your brain and nervous system to handle stress superiorly than anything else I've found. And I've done a lot of neurofeedback on myself and my daughter, and I just feel the results with BrainTap are just superior. And it's a combination of the headset, which has flickering lights in the visor, which help increase what's called the theta brainwave state, which is the brainwave state that's active before we get into delta. So it helps us get into that deep sleep. It's got binaural beats and isochronic tones coming out of the earphone part. It also has lights to stimulate acupuncture points that help with stress as well. And it also has the option of doing guided visualizations. So it's giving you that positive mind messaging to change your brain state as to how you deal with different things in your life. Um, and you can also just listen to solfeggio frequencies or right frequencies with a certain brainwave state. So you can listen to just alpha, which is great for getting that serotonin hit. That's the state that people that meditate are in. Or you could do delta, which is that deep sleep state. So I have to, I can't not share Brain Tap because it really does work. But I've now given you some other options that you can try that are also very effective. They just take a lot of discipline, and you got to do it 10 to 15 minutes a day to make those changes, but they do work. All these things work. So, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at blueprinttoheal1@gmail or join my Facebook group, Blueprint to Heal with Nancy Tarlow. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you found this very beneficial.